Hey everyone, it is the end of February, so I wanted to share my monthly roundup video and just talk about the best and worst makeup products I used this month. I also have a hair mask that is so good. I can't wait to talk about this. Skincare products and nails, I'll save those for the end. I'll do makeup first. But I just wanted to do like my monthly recap and talk about the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and then also a couple of older favorites I rediscovered this month as well. I've been making a big effort to kind of shop my stash and just enjoy what I already have. I do have my declutter videos coming soon. I'll probably upload them like, I don't know, like once every 2 weeks, once a month, we'll see. Before I jump into like decluttering my entire makeup collection, I'm kind of making an effort to rotate through the majority of the products in each category. So in January and February, I used like pretty much all of my foundations, concealers, primers, so I had a better feel for what I actually loved and didn't. And I think over the next few months, I'm going to be focusing on like blushes, highlighters, bronzers. That way when I actually sit down to do my declutter, I have more of an idea of the products I really do enjoy and the ones that I'm not reaching for. So stay tuned. My first declutter will be up in March. But anyway, before we get into that, let's jump into today's video and I'll share the products that I've been reaching for and the ones that didn't work for me this month. Let's start with this product. This is definitely my most worn product in February. It's my top favorite. I think I actually tried these for the first time in January and I haven't been able to stop wearing them. They are the Pure Nude Baked Blushes from Essence. So I have 3 different shades. I'll swatch them for you. I feel like I wear them pretty equally depending on what type of makeup look I'm going for. Today I'm wearing the shade Cool Coral. It's just such a beautiful pink. I feel like it pairs perfectly with this makeup look. They look really smooth on the skin. They have like that gorgeous glow to them. Some of them are a little bit more shimmery than others. I mean, on the cheeks, they don't necessarily look intensely shimmery, but I think if you're out in the sun, you can notice it a little bit. But I think they're going to be perfect for the spring and summer. They add the perfect amount of color and glow to the skin, and they wear really well throughout the day. Like if I apply these in the morning, by the end of the day, the color is still there. So I've been enjoying these a lot. Like I'm so tempted to go on Ulta's website and purchase additional shades. But honestly, the 3 that I got kind of cover like whatever type of blush I'm feeling that day. Another one of my top products from the month is this one from Tower 28. This is the Juice Balm Tinted Lip Balm. So it actually comes in 4 shades. I'll swatch them for you. I did film a lip swatch video and then something was off with the focus, so I couldn't actually post the video as like a YouTube short or an Instagram reel. But I've been wearing these a lot. I think I wore one of these in a recent video. My favorite shade is Squeeze, which is a really beautiful kind of like orangey corally red. And that kind of surprised me because they did send these to me in the mail as PR. If they hadn't have sent them to me, I probably would have purchased 1 shade or 2. Mix was kind of like my ideal shade when I was looking at them online, which is like a lighter, softer nude. And I do wear this one a lot on an everyday basis, but I love the orange one. They have 2 that are a little bit more sheer. So Mix and Shake are softer, they're sheer, there's not like a ton of color payoff. And then they have 2 really bold, intense shades, Squeeze and Drink. So if you want more color, these are the ones to go with. And I think these are the better 2 out of the 4 because these last longer on the lips. Like even once that initial balmy, glossy layer wears off, you're left with color throughout the day, which is nice. These are very lightweight, super comfortable. They basically feel like tinted lip balms. So it is something that you're going to have to reapply throughout the day if you want that glossy finish. It's not the most long-lasting formula, although like I said, the color from these 2 like brighter ones does last on the lips after that initial layer wears off, but it's just an easy product to apply. It's the type of product you can throw in your purse and go, something that's just very comfortable but still really, really pretty. So I'm definitely a fan of these. I think I'll be reaching for them even more during the spring and the summer, and they're gorgeous. There is not a scent. I wanted to mention that because these reminded me a lot of the ColourPop Just to Tint lip crayons, which I used to love back in the day, but those were very scented. I kind of liked the scent. I felt like it was almost like a grapefruit scent or a citrus scent, but I know a lot of people hated that scent. So these are a good alternative. They're a little bit more expensive, but I find that they're slightly more moisturizing, not quite as like waxy or light feeling as ColourPop. They feel better, like more nourishing on the lips, and they're not scented. So just something I wanted to point out. I've also been wearing this lip product from NYX a ton. These are the Fat Oil Lip Drips. These are so pretty on the lips. It's interesting because they market these as a lip oil, which is kind of what pulled me in because I love a good lip oil. But I think they're more similar to like a regular lip gloss formula. They're a little bit sticky, which is interesting because I've read comments from people saying that these aren't sticky at all, and then other comments from people saying like this is the stickiest lip product they've ever tried. It's so interesting how makeup experiences differ so much when it comes to different products. But anyway, I personally do find these products to be a little bit sticky, but it's not something that bothers me because these look so glossy on the lips and they last really well. Something that I've kind of been enjoying lately isn't necessarily like a sticky lip product, but a lip product or a gloss that stays in place a little bit longer, because a lot of lip products, a lot of lip oils, and even thin lip glosses wear off so fast. So then you're sitting there reapplying it after like 5 minutes. And sometimes that's fine depending on like what you're going for or the type of product it is. But sometimes it's nice to have a gloss that just kind of lasts a little bit longer and feels really nice on the lips, even after like an hour or two. And that's what these feel like. So if you're looking for a little bit more longevity out of your lip product, you want a very glossy finish, a really nice hydrating feel, these are perfect, but there is a little bit of stickiness to them. They do look so juicy, so glossy though. They're really beautiful. They reflect the light in such a pretty way. So this has become one of my new go-to formulas as well. So I think I mentioned whenever I do my eyeshadow, I reach for like 2 or 3 palettes every single time. And it's been kind of fun just to like mix and match the different shades in different palettes. I've never been like a one eyeshadow palette fan when I've done my makeup, but lately I've just been having fun like pulling 2 or 3 random palettes to create the different looks. So I've been on like a big pink and purple kick. I used to only wear pink and purple eyeshadow back in the day, and then I went through like a big neutral phase over the past 2 years. Now I'm kind of playing around with color again, and I love it. It just makes me so happy. So today I'm wearing 2 Huda Beauty palettes, like one shade from Mercury Retrograde, one shade from, I always forget the name of the other palette. Why am I drawing a blank? Like her really pretty, like cooler toned pinky neutral one. So I'm wearing like 2 shades from those palettes, and then the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Frog. I put this in my everyday makeup drawer back in January, and I cannot stop using it. Like anytime I do any sort of pink look or purple look, I use this all over the lid just to kind of add like a really pretty sparkly touch. So I am wearing this on my lids today. It's so stunning. I cannot get enough of it. I think I read a comment on one of my videos from one of you saying you love it, and that's always what reminds me to use this shadow. It comes up in my YouTube comment section all the time because so many of you love this shadow as well, and every time I read it in my comment section, like the next day I wear it and then I get on like a big kick again. So if you're looking for a really pretty, just like beautiful eyeshadow topper to complement pink looks, this is it. It's so stunning. I think they have this shade at Target as well because ColourPop is sold at Target, and I'm pretty sure last time I was there I saw it. If not, it's at Ulta, or you can purchase it from ColourPop's website too. So like I said, I have been rotating through all of my foundations and concealers and just kind of re-wearing them and rediscovering some older favorites, deciding if the formulas still work for me or not before I film my declutter video. And I totally fell back in love with my Fenty foundation, which really threw me off because I haven't really worn this regularly for a long time, and I thought it was going to be very dry, very uncomfortable on the skin. It is a full coverage matte foundation, which is not typically my go-to formula these days, but I do find with the way I've been prepping my skin, it makes such a difference in the way this wears and applies and just how it looks on the skin. In the past, when this was my go-to foundation, I would wear it with like a matte primer, a really heavy setting powder, so it was so many matte products on top of each other. So now when I wear this, first of all, I use less of it and really blend it and work it into the skin. And I feel like that's possible because I usually use a very glowy primer underneath. One of my favorites has been the Essence Hello Good Stuff Glow Serum Primer. This one is incredibly hydrating. It gives your skin a glow without any shimmer. It just looks so healthy, so beautiful. So when I use this to prep my skin and then I go in with the Fenty foundation, it almost makes this look a little bit more satin on the skin, especially if you use a little bit less and really blend it in instead of like fully kind of working it up to an intense full coverage. It's been so nice. I've been loving this combo a lot because not only does it kind of even out my skin tone, cover up redness, it stays in place so well. It is such a long wearing foundation, which has been my favorite lately because when I wake up in the morning and do my makeup, I want my makeup to last until the end of the day. Sometimes I don't care and I'm doing like a very light coverage look. Like yesterday, I prepped my skin with the Merit like oil primer serum, and then I used a lighter coverage foundation. So when I went to wash my face at like 10:30, most of my makeup had worn off. But when I want my makeup to actually last, this does stay in place extremely well, and I've just been enjoying it again lately. I mentioned it in a recent video and someone was like, that's a terrible foundation. There are so many better foundations these days, and I do agree that there are a lot of great options, but I feel like this one just comes through when you want your foundation to stay in place really, really well. And again, pairing it with a glowy primer really does make a difference for me. So I love this primer with this foundation, but also with any other foundation I use. Unfortunately, that leads me to my first fail this month, the Essence Hydro Hero Primer. I know I've talked about this in a couple of recent videos. I did just do like an entire worst makeup I've tried recently video. If you want to check it out, I'll link it below. But I wanted to share it in today's video as well, since it is like a monthly roundup. This feels good when you initially apply it. It has a very thin, lightweight texture, so it feels hydrating as you kind of blend it into the skin. It almost feels a little bit like a moisturizer. And I do like a good moisturizing primer, but once this dries down, it no longer feels hydrating on the skin. It almost leaves your skin feeling matte, and not in a good way. It almost feels a little bit tight, a little bit dry. Whereas when you use this product, you get like that long-lasting glow and your skin just feels and looks so hydrated. This one also has a very strong smell, like a fresh smell. They say that it has cucumber extract in it, and I feel like it does have a little bit of a cucumber scent mixed with like a fresh scent, and I don't really find it super pleasant, to be honest. This one does have a very strong watermelon scent, but I find that this one is more enjoyable for me personally. The other issue is when I wear makeup on top of this product, it just breaks apart very, very quickly. It's really strange to me because this does dry down. You wouldn't think that it would affect your makeup in that way, but I noticed when I wear this, I even tested it out like side by side with another primer. The makeup on the side where I was wearing this primer did not last very well at all. Like after 2 hours, I noticed it really separating on my cheek. I have to say, I've really been loving the new Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer. This just looks good on the skin, and I feel like every time I see someone talk about it, they really only have good things to say about it, and I understand why. It really is just such a nice formula all around. I think Urban Decay as a whole tends to get a little bit overlooked within like the online beauty community. If you are a beauty lover and you watch reviews and you try a lot of products, Urban Decay might not necessarily be your go-to brand, but I feel like for more of like the everyday casual consumer, Urban Decay really is still a go-to brand for a lot of people. For me personally, their eyeshadow palettes don't always do it for me, but their complexion products usually are really, really high quality, and I tend to love like a lot of their staple line as a whole. So in the past, their foundations and concealers really have been some of my favorites, and this just feels and looks really nice on the skin. I wonder if they're going to launch some sort of foundation with a similar texture, because it's very creamy, very, very smooth. It blends out in seconds. It looks so glowy, really healthy on the skin, but you can also set it with powder and it wears really well under powder too. Probably the biggest fail for me this month was the Covergirl Clean Invisible Loose Powder. I haven't tried a powder that hasn't worked for me in a very long time. I think powders as a whole have come such a long way, and a lot of brands make very lightweight powders that do a great job of locking your makeup into place. This feels like a thicker, heavier powder, so instantly it just doesn't necessarily feel great on the skin. It looks good when you first apply it, like it makes your skin look very smooth. It sets your makeup without taking away like all of the glow, so if you're wearing a lot of hydrating products that have like a very dewy, glowy finish, this powder feels like, or initially looks like, it would be perfect to pair with those. But after a few hours, my makeup just looks so heavy, incredibly cakey. It feels uncomfortable. Like I just don't like the way my face feels when I wear this, or the way it looks. A few eyeliners I wanted to share with you. This has been a favorite of mine for months. I don't know that I've talked about it in a ton of videos. I feel like sometimes I fall in love with the product and it just kind of like flies under my radar. It's a daily staple, but just not something I think about featuring in a video or on my channel, but I have been using this so much. I think I first tried it back in the fall, and it comes with a like super fine micro liquid liner on one side, and then the other side has like a really nice light nude pencil liner. So I use the liquid liner to create a wing, and the fact that it is like so small and fine really does come in handy because I'm someone who tends to go way overboard with my liquid liner. So when I use this, I feel like I'm able to get something a little bit more subtle. Today's eyeliner is not like the most subtle I've ever done, but it's also not the most intense. And I feel like I'm able to just precisely apply the liner where I want to with this product. And then the nude liner on the other side is perfect for the waterline. It stays in place all day long. It just kind of brightens up the eyes. I have been using like a lighter nude pencil on my waterline more lately. I think probably because I have been doing like a lot of lighter, softer pink looks. So I feel like it just kind of goes with that type of makeup look. So when I'm not using that, I am using this one from Catrice. This one's affordable. It's the 20 Hour Ultra Precision Gel Eye Pencil. It is a waterproof formula. and this one is in the shade, I don't know, I can't find the exact shade name. It's just basically like a very light nude. So again, if you like a shade like this to kind of brighten up your waterline, this is perfect. I feel like it stays in place well. I used to use one from Too Faced, and I feel like this has kind of replaced that because this stays in place just as well. And I think it's probably like $4 or $5, so really affordable. I wanted to mention this product because I've also been rotating through my cream bronzers. I have a lot of good formulas, and I feel like I can reach for a lot of them interchangeably because they all perform so well. But my go-to like day-to-day bronzer formula when I want more of a subtle look is this one from e.l.f. I believe they launched these like right at the beginning of the year, the Luminous Putty Bronzers. Ever since I tried this like back in January, I cannot put it down. My favorite shade is Vacay Mood, which has been so surprising to me because I never really thought I'd be such a fan of like a very cool tone shade, but this looks so good on the skin. A lot of bronzers are very warm toned, as they're meant to be because they're supposed to warm up the skin, bronze up the skin. I don't typically buy like a lot of contour products because I always just think of those as like two very separate steps. But I feel like a lot of brands are coming out with like bronzer contours all in one, where the color doesn't lean super warm and orangey, but it also doesn't lean super cool and gray toned. It kind of falls somewhere more in the middle, and I feel like that's the case for this one. Even though it looks incredibly, well, I don't know about incredibly, like it looks a little bit more cool toned in the pan, I feel like on the skin, it almost pulls a little bit more neutral, and I just find that it's very flattering. On top of that, the actual formula is gorgeous. It's very glowy, super luminous, very dewy, and I just can't get enough of it. It melts into the skin in a really natural way. You really can't go overboard with this product at all, and I just can't get enough of it. I've been wearing it so much. If I do want more of like a strong, intense bronzer, then I'll reach for something else because this is more subtle, but I feel like that's been perfect for day to day, especially because I usually do want the focus of my look to be more of the blush. I just feel like there are so many pretty blushes I've been loving lately. I don't usually love for the bronzer to kind of overpower it, so this pairs perfectly. I have a hair mask that I wanted to share with you because this has made such a difference for me. I tried a couple of products over the last few months that really dried my hair out. I mentioned this in a previous video, but I was dealing with a ton of breakage. My hair was so brittle. It was literally just like snapping off on the ends. But anyway, my hair also felt so dry. So I was like, I have to take care of this. I have to figure it out. So I started using this hair mask like every other time I washed my hair. I also went back to washing my hair every other day because I was kind of relying on dry shampoo, you know, and throwing my hair up in like a tight messy bun, and I feel like that was contributing to the breakage as well. So every other time I washed my hair, which because I'm washing it every other day was like every 4 days, I would use a deep conditioner. And that might be a little bit much for your hair depending on what it's like, what it needs. My hair really needed the moisture, and this product has made a huge difference. This is the Coco and Eve Like a Virgin Super Nourishing Coconut and Fig Hair Mask. My go-to hair mask is typically the Briogeo one, the one that comes in the green packaging. That does a really good job, but I ran out of that and I have this one on hand. I actually tried the hair oil from Coco and Eve last year and I loved it. So I thought I would try their hair mask, and this is going to be my new go-to. My hair feels incredibly soft. It is so hydrated. It's really back to what it used to be before I used those products that kind of destroyed it. I mean, you can tell that it's working, and not just when you initially apply it and rinse it off, but like over time. Even when I'm not using this product and I wash and dry my hair is so soft. The ends are a lot stronger. I'm dealing with a lot less breakage, and I feel like this worked very quickly for me. I love this. I'm planning on repurchasing this. I think this brand was on sale during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty last year. Either the 21 Days of Beauty or maybe one of like their gorgeous hair events or some other sale, but I'll be keeping my eye on this brand to get it for a discount. It's sold at Ulta. I do have the hair oil as well, and that works really well. I do have a nail style I wanted to talk about in today's video because this is so cute. I picked these up on a whim because for me, I tend to wear like neutral colored nails, either like light pinks or light nudes, nothing too interesting or too over the top. And I've kind of been switching it up a little bit lately, like trying some fun designs. I got this design from Static Nails and I love it so much. I actually got them specifically kind of for like around Valentine's Day, but I feel like they'll be really fun during the spring and summer as well. These are the vertical French pink nails, and I have the round style. I typically wear the round style from Static Nails. I tried the square ones and I didn't love them on me. I like the round ones because they're not incredibly long, like they're they're not necessarily as short as the square ones, but they're not as long as like Stiletto or Coffin. So I feel like I can still do everything very easily, like practically day to day. They come with 12 different sizes and each size comes with 2. So you get 24 nails in here. So the first time I wear them, I just choose like my ideal nail shape. And then the second time I wear them, I'll usually spend a little bit of time kind of like filing down the second ones. So overall, I get like a month of wear out of each box. I've thought about going to the salon, getting my nails done there, but I feel like I just don't like having like an extra thing to do on my list, like another appointment to go to every few weeks. And then I think during the summer, I am going to give, or maybe not even the summer, maybe the spring, I am going to give my natural nails a break and like really grow those back out and kind of focus on doing my natural nails too. But I don't know, these just look so nice. They're so pretty. So I do feel like they are a fun option if you like press-on nails. The last thing that did not work for me is something that I've tried on and off for a few months, and I just didn't really get around to sharing an update. So I did want to talk about it in today's video. This is the Milani highly rated Lash and Brow Serum. So I've been on like this big lash and brow serum kick. I've tried a couple of different brands, Grande Cosmetics, The Ordinary. Right now I'm loving The Ordinary. I feel like it makes my lashes look so long. I don't know if you can tell a difference, but I feel like when I was doing my mascara today, my lashes just felt and looked very long to me. Before I started using those, I was using this one from Milani. I thought it couldn't hurt because, you know, it's affordable and if it worked well, that would be amazing. This really did nothing for my lashes or my brows. It did not make them grow or look thick. They really didn't look any different. And I used this for a while. So this is not something I tried specifically in February. It's just something I've been meaning to talk about. I was using it so consistently on my lashes and my brows, and then I just switched to my brows. I think I used it for like 2 months. No difference at all. So I don't recommend trying this one out. Again, if you're looking for a product that really works, Grande Brow does work, but it's very expensive. And I'm seeing really good results from The Ordinary on my lashes. So once I finish Grande Brow, I'm going to use The Ordinary on my brows as well, but I would skip over the Milani one. Okay, that's everything I wanted to talk about in today's video. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I would love for you to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I have a ton of videos coming your way during the month of March, including declutters, an everyday makeup drawer video. I think the 21 Days of Beauty will be here, so I'll share a breakdown on that and all kinds of things. So let me know if there's anything else you want to see, but I'll see you very soon with a new one. Bye.